In order to activate the first switch in Jabu without the slingshot, boomerang or any sort of explosives, you need at least a shield and a sword or deku stick to get ISG. You can reach the switch with hovers using Octorok projectiles, which was discovered by CFG. The optimized setup shown here is derived from Brian MP16s, which you can find in the description. I'll go through the setup step by step in a second. This is just a demonstration of the trick so you know what it should look like. The Octorok hover suffers from a bad reputation, so I decided to explain the different scenarios in greater detail. Although it seems quite difficult at first, it can become very consistent once you get used to it. First of all, we need to get rid of all enemies in this room besides the Octorok to the right, so they won't interrupt the hover. You can throw a Dekunut at the bubbles to kill them or just roll into them. Now you need to get ISG at the door, then put away the sword. You need to align somewhat to the center or left of that, then backflip, side up left, neutral roll, retarget, then do 7 side-hops to the left. This is your initial position. Now you turn around, trigger the Octorok to shoot at you. Then you need to backflip into the projectile, so you hover in mid-air, and you need a certain distance away from the wall so the Octorok will keep shooting at you. Then time 3 more backflip hovers, then you can target the switch at the top of the ceiling to turn around, similar as you do in, let's say, the spirit hover where you target a Shu. You need to hold straight down to change your angle after that. Now you want to time side hops immediately before the projectile is hitting you. If you do that too late, you won't move at all, but it won't interrupt the hover. So the timing pressure is off at this point. Just make sure you get at least 2 side hop hovers. And then you can go for the backflip hovers, and they have the same timing as the side hop hovers. Just do a backflip input. After 2 of these backflip hovers, you can just input another backflip and you should hit the switch. This is a schematic draft of the first room of Jabu, and this is the door, this is the position of the Octorok. And there are basically 2 extreme cases I want to cover here. One is if you hover for distance, that means you backflip late, you get more distance, less height from these hovers. Then you end up further towards the Octorok, and after retargeting you get somewhat like that of an angle. It means you have to adjust your position with side hop hovers before you can do the final backflip hovers towards the switch. This should be roughly the distance after 2 backflip hovers and then just backflip to activate the switch. If you're doing height hovers, however, you will end up further towards this point compared to the distance hovers which go further this direction. And then you, depending on the angle you get here, that's also important, you have to adjust with probably 1 extra side hop hover and then do the final backflip hovers and then backflip to activate the switch. So you have to cover that side hop hover distance depending on which angle you get and which position you have after the hovers.